Good morning. My voice is not that good anymore because I've been to over 70 towns in Nimba.
That's good. Okay, but we can accept the quality. Whatever. So without having
no, I just want the listening audience to know this is not my voice.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to Tappita. Welcome to Radio Larwehyi.
I'm happy to be here again.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is the second time.
Life. Yeah. But I've also been before many times.
Oh, okay. So Enoch Downs here, Jonathan Harris is here, and some members of the team, Gongloe, are also live in studio. Firstly, the broom. Let me get a sun. I don't know how you can sweep it.
This broom, first, is a symbol of my political party, the Liberian People's Party.
Okay.
Secondly, it is a symbol of what I intend to do in Liberia. I consider corruption as dirt that has made government unclean and has made it difficult for the government of Liberia to lead Liberia progressively in the interest of all. The purpose of governing a country is to seek the common good of all, to protect the people of Liberia, to seek their common good, to seek their welfare. But because of corruption, stealing government, Liberia has not been progressing. In fact, Liberia has been moving backwards, while the other countries right around us are moving forward. And so we need to get rid of corruption. I say the broom is a symbol to sweep corruption and burn it. Because you put it in the dump site, it might come back if the wind blows. So I'm asking all Liberians to join me to sweep corruption. Because with this broom, one string of broom can easily break. If together, it will be difficult. We can succeed together. We say in Liberia, in your social society, a show. So together, we can sweep corruption from Liberia and then open the door for the development of Liberia.
Okay. So that's good. I think the broom, speaks volume. I think your ambition. But since you can talk about this shirt, people talk about Liberia.
I agree.
Okay.
This is symbolic. It is meant to be an instrument of governance when I win, and I'm not saying if, because I know I will win. When I win, I'm sitting in the executive mansion.
Okay.
This is what I will use to control governance, the governance of Liberia. Corruption will not be tolerated in any way or manner. And I have the prescription for fighting corruption.
That's good.
First, the president's salary, his benefit, his asset values will be all on the internet. I will order that it be placed on the internet. That the salary of the Chief Justice and justices and judges, the salaries and benefits of the Speaker, the President pro tem, all lawmakers, everyone who serves the government, managing directors, and even civil servants, salaries will be on the internet. That you will sit in Tappita, open your phone, and know the president's salary. That's the beginning of transparency. Because they will know the president's salary when the president is building a $200,000 house, and you know that the president's total value is just $50,000. You will know he's stealing. So we'll do that. And so we'll be with the ministers, with everyone, that when they are spending about their income, you will know. Then on top of that, I will have what I call quarterly lifestyle audit. I've not seen it anywhere. I want to introduce it in Liberia because corruption in Liberia is so endemic that we have to find ways thinking out of the box to fight corruption. So every 3 months, the president's lifestyle will be audited, the lifestyle of the ministers will be audited. And what I mean by lifestyle audit, come to the president and say, the president, your total worth, your salary, benefits, and value of your asset is not about $50,000. What can you tell the Liberian about the $200,000 Mercedes Benz that is parked before your house? that is your private car.
Okay.
I would not be able to explain that. I would clearly show that I'm stealing. And I've said repeatedly all but Nimba and even in Bond County that when I engaged in such expenditure, I would have been inconsistent. I would have contradicted what I've said to the Liberian people. It would be shameful, disgraceful to the people of Nimba. I would resign as president. And of course, I would be prosecuted by the person who succeeds me because I would have committed a crime. I would have engaged in abuse of office. But I won't do such a thing. Therefore, when I'm president and you're a minister and the 3-month lifestyle audit shows that you are building a $200,000 house with your salary benefit and your asset add-on cannot reach even $50,000, then it will be clear that you are stealing. And upon receiving our audit report, I'll immediately dismiss you, turn you over to the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission for full investigation and prosecution. And of course, you'll be found guilty. When you're found guilty, you go to jail for 5 to 10 years. Your properties will be seized and turned over to the Republic of Liberia, to the people of Liberia. And then your family will begin to suffer. And I see that when 5 ministers are in jail, their properties are seized and turned over to the Republic of Liberia. And their families are suffering. No other minister will want to steal again. And if a minister does not steal, deputy ministers, assistant ministers, controller, chief accountant, even civil servants will not steal. And superintendents will not steal. Therefore, the commissioners, everyone will not steal. That is the way we'll break corruption. We'll be getting rid of corruption that way.
Okay, that's great. You mentioned, about that you want to seek correction. I think that one thing that you feel is killing Liberia. Yeah, but the fact is, President George Manuel has received applause, from every corner. Why would you want to have him maybe removed from power? Because 2023 is so far.
I don't know who's applauding him. Some applause may be based on ignorance, lack of information, and lack of knowledge of what a president should do in the country. Just come from Gladiana alone. I know that applaud is not coming from Tappita or Gladiana, because I left Gladiana around 3 o'clock yesterday, going to 4 o'clock, and I arrived in Tappita around 7 o'clock. Now, that is normally a 20 to 30 minutes drive when the road is good. So I'm not sure whether anybody from Gladiana or Tappita will applaud the president who makes it difficult for us to travel even on a short road like this. So applause can come from supporters who are benefiting from the bad governance. Because one of the things that are, one of the elements of bad governance that have been accentuated that is so much under this government is stealing. Joshua got in power, and in the first year, before the end of the first year, he built 47-story buildings right opposite the Baptist Seminary. And as soon as he built 47-story buildings, so many ministers started stealing money and building their own houses too. So that's why I said the president does not steal, the ministers will not steal, and the people who work under the ministers will not steal. So there are people who are benefiting from the stealing that Joshua is doing, from the stealing that the ministers are doing, from the stealing that the superintendents are doing, who will applaud Joshua. For them, he should be there for 4 terms, because the longer he stays, the more they will benefit from the bad governance. So I'm not discouraged by the fact that people are applauding him. The people who are applauding him are the people who are benefiting. But he's not doing well at all even in the sports sector. This man is the only Baron Don that is president of any country in the world. Baron Don is the highest award in football. Since he became president, now one Liberian has become a professional player. It was during his time as president that for the first time in the history of football, that the football playing field, our stadium was shut down by FIFA It was declared unfit for hosting international football. That for me is a shame. It was, and we had to play our home game in Cameroon. We had to take our players to Cameroon, pay airplane fare, host them in hotels, carry the officials and everything spent because of bad governance. His failure to even excel in football. It was under his regime that Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Ivory Coast won the last African Cup of Nations that Liberia did not qualify for. So even in football, he is failing. If the man cannot succeed in his area of expertise, do we expect him to succeed in the area of the health system?
So we are talking about everything. Liberia going to over 6 years now, and George Weah has just spent 5 years. So are you alluding to the fact that Liberia's problem lies with George Weah because he's president?
He said he was coming to power to give hope to the Liberian people. The change of government to elect George Weah was meant to give hope to the Liberian people. His own words, his motto. And he said on inauguration day, the struggle is over. That's what, these are his own words. So, yes, there were problems there. But the other president didn't pretend that they had all the solutions as he did. And I'm saying, if anything should fail, football should not fail. Okay. Samuel Doe, who was not a football expert, who did not even play on the Blue Star team, who did not play on any of the teams in Liberia at the time, I.E.M. Barrow, made George Weah an international footballer, made Salenza, made Joe Nambi, Christopher Wray. He produced more than 10 international players who were making millions of dollars abroad. George Weah, the Baron Don, the football legend, has not been able to produce one international player. Either he's so mean that he does not want other people to get where he went, or he just doesn't know what to do. Samuel Doe put money into football. He encouraged footballers. He used to put them in his open top car, and he himself as president, driving them to the football stadium. His level of motivation was how is it that the football star, the man who became...
But we have the sports park, for example, that he has built.
Yeah, okay, so you build a sports park. I don't want to go there. Okay. Because, he did it without much technical advice. The first time it rained, the whole place got flooded. And the sports park was built on the part of the Springs field. The very place where he built the sports park is a place that there have been several airplane crashes. ADC crashes, for example, and you have all these tall light poles. Like, when the plane is coming from you see, it brings like there is something very cloudy. The plane will have to go under the cloud and fly low to get to Springfield. Springfield is not just a local field, it's an alternative international airport that when Robert Field is having problem, we have had DC-10, Boeing 747 land at Springfield. So he could have built the sports park anyway. I don't condemn him for building a sports park. It's good. I think we should have recreational areas in all of our communities for our young people. But it must be done properly. And I don't think he did it properly.
Right, folks, you're listening to the special interview with Presidential Governor Councilor Tiawan Gongloe, and son of Nimba County, who is on a tour from Bond County. He's in Nimba, touring his own county. And we here with him this morning. We'll be asking questions later. Just make sure you have the names and charge the phone so you can have the questions that you will ask. I'm here with Enoch Dan. I'm here with Jordan Harris out of Mr. Spencer Glade, the coordinator for the party in Nimba County, is also here.
Party chairman, LPP
party chairman is here. He's a student, and some team members are also riding at the station compound this morning. And my name is Fred Ibn Jordan, the lead, host of this program. Councilor, you mentioned earlier that about 70 towns you've been in Israel. Let's get to know how are the engagements been like?
Well, look, I've heard many people say, we heard Tiawan Gongloe speaking many times. Okay. We We heard people speaking about him. We read about him in the paper, we've seen him on the television, but we don't know him. Okay. We don't know him. We have not seen him. So this trip is an acquaintance trip to let the Nimba people know my face, to know that I'm a human being with flesh and blood, and I come from Nimba. Okay. I've also been to Bong County. My late mother came from Bong County. Okay. And I was elected Cllr of the Liberian People's Party in Bong County, and then subsequently I went to over 37 towns in several of the districts in Bong County. My style, I'm a transformer. I like to do things a different way, a better way. Liberian politicians who want to be presidential, for example, in Bong County, they want to come to Banga, and sometimes Palala. Maybe Total when they're passing through. I heard one or two have been to Zointa, but they leave the rest of the county. And the people live in the different localities. So in Nimba, I said, I will go to a place where no presidential candidate has been before, so they can see me, engage me, ask me questions. So I started, I've gone to all of the 9 districts in many towns, and most of the towns I've been to, I've told you, we only hear about presidential candidates coming to Kanta, Sanikole, Cllr, Tappita, and sometimes Kamble and maybe Bam. They do not go beyond that. Do you know that no presidential candidate, even President Sali, President Wia, both of them presidential candidate and both of them as president, have not been to Butu, where all this trouble started. I've been to Butu. I went to Butu, and it's disgraceful when you go to Butu. On the foreign side, I saw 4 street lights. On the Liberian side, no electricity, the place is dark. So it just shows how Ivory Coast is a place of light, and Liberia is underdeveloped, it's dark, it's a place of
But you better read.
Well, I'm in Tappita, and I was explored the possibility of getting the weed. And I've not been to Yahweh Mesnon's where I come from. I come from Ethiopia, Mesnon, Yahweh Mesnon Statutory District. Those are the 2 areas I've not been to. One in Tappita, on my way to we and Yahweh Mesnon, provided the road conditions allow me to reach them. All right? So I'm going to these places, and I'm telling them what I want to do. I want to sweep corruption. I want to join me. But the dividends of sweeping corruption will be the following things. There are many things I want to do for better Liberia. I want to make sure that under my government, no pregnant woman will pay a hospital bill. Because the record shows that Liberia is among the 10 countries in the world, not just in Africa, where pregnant women die most. Liberia is number 7. So they die because they don't have money to go to the hospital when they get pregnant. From day 1, they should be going to the hospital. They don't. They go to the hospital when they are taking care in the house, and after 2-3 days, when there's complication, then they bring them to the hospital. And most often they die. Therefore, no pregnant woman should pay medical bill in this country, so that they and the children can live. 2, no child under 5 years should pay a hospital bill. The parents should not pay a hospital bill, because the record shows Liberia is among the countries that report the highest infant mortality rate. Children get sick a lot when they are under 5 years old. So parents should not pay hospital bill for children under 5. Also, for all Liberian citizens who are 65 years and above, they should not pay hospital bill, because when people are getting older, they don't have opportunity to work. In fact, 65 is a pension age, and then your body is weak. You cannot grow cocoa, coffee, tap rubber, and all of that. So one of the purposes of government is to take care of the weak. So we will, under my administration, no Liberian citizens 65 years and above will pay the hospital bill. Then will come to education. Liberian children from kindergarten to 12th grade will pay no fee. They will have the copy books and pencils and pens paid for by government, the textbooks paid for, supplied by government, and the feeding program provided by government. We'll come to road condition. When I was growing up in Tappita here, attending Tappita Afternoon School and subsequently St. Francis School, there was a problem where you are here. There was a problem where you are in total. There were Polywaya in Ghana, in Gambia, in Gawike. Because of that, I never heard growing up that the road from Zreju to Tappita was impassable because the road was bad. I never heard that. I never heard that the road from here to Ghana was bad. I never heard that people couldn't come from Cape Town because the road was bad. Why? Because we're not talking about there were public yards in all of the countries to intervene and to keep the roads maintained. When I'm president of Liberia, I will restore that. I don't know why when something happened that is good on a previous government, that subsequent government will abandon it. It was good for Liberia, and I will bring it back. The last thing, or the four major things I want to talk about is food production. Like the rice price will keep going up as long as we do not produce rice in Liberia. We have to produce sufficient rice. According to the UNFAO, out of every 100 bags of rice that we eat in Liberia, less than 20 bags are produced here. So we have to produce rice. It is a shame that India, that has more than 1 billion people, can export rice to Liberia, can produce rice, feed its population, and send it extra to Liberia. Look at the bags of rice made in India. It is a shame. If you have 2 children in your house and your neighbor got 20, and every day you have to go to your neighbor for a cup of rice, then you are irresponsible because your neighbor is growing rice and feeding himself and his family, and you got 2 children and you are able to do. That is what Liberia is doing. But why is India, Nigeria, America, and other countries succeeding in producing rice? Because they are using machines and they are using other means, mechanical means of producing rice. Let me tell you.
But before you can become a president, like you are hoping, let's look at your own lifestyle besides your profession as a counselor. Do you have large farm?
Well, if you must say, listen to me. I'm an agriculturist. Okay. I give you what I have. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching my life from 1982. I was teaching some of my students, and today contributed to the country. Joy Howard Taylor is vice president. Now, I must have been a good teacher to produce a vice president. Bernie Samga, former Minister of Defense, was my student. Cabinet General, Justice, became Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, my former student. Current Justice Kaba, my former student. So many of my former students are performing. That's what I have. That's why I refer to George as a footballer. If you're a footballer, make Liberia a football nation. Give what you have. I'm not an agriculturist. Over during farming season, I send money to my family in Glade who are living on the land. I'm not living on the farmland. I don't want to be an absentee farmer. I want Liberians who live on the farm, on the land, to be capacitated by the government of Liberia to produce rice. I don't want to be a big shot farmer like in the past. People live in Monrovia and force people to make farms for them. No, I don't want to be an absentee farmer. Okay. If I want to go into agriculture, I'll do that. Let me tell you, I grew up making farm because my father, Tiawan Gongloe, was a farmer. Cutlass and hoe cannot be like self-sufficient rice production. Okay. Because I know that when you use cutlass and hoe to make farm, you cannot produce even 3 clean bags of rice. So by April, people are hungry in Liberia. By the time they get the storm to plow their farm, they are hungry. Why? Because cutlass and hoe cannot make it. I see agriculture ministry going around. I was in, I think, Wuya. They were giving cutlasses and hoes to farmers. They can't cut it. You have to do machines. You have to have a situation where we have a rice farm, like Cocopa, like Firestone, like Cavallo rubber, like lac. That's the only way we have to produce big rice farms. The only thing that can do that machine. So when I'm president, here's my strategy. Government will buy machines. We revitalize the Agriculture and Cooperative Development Bank. Through the Agriculture and Cooperative Development Bank, we will give machines to farmers' cooperatives as loan for 15 years, no interest, for the farmers' cooperatives to grow rice They will not use the machine to clear land for cocoa, for coffee, for sugarcane, for rubber, or oil palm. It will be strictly for rice. In that way, we'll have large areas of land cleared. I'm not saying a forest, because I'm an environmentalist. I want the forest to remain there. But for secondary forests that they didn't grow rice on, for them to grow rice, and I can tell you, in 2 years, Liberia will be self-sufficient in rice production, because they will have the capacity to clear large land and to plant rice. And when farming and when the harvesting time comes, they will have combine harvesters that can harvest a place like Tappita in less than an hour. That is how we will produce rice. More than that, as commander-in-chief, the military is meant for fighting war, to defend Liberia against its enemy. Today, Liberia is not fighting war. Nobody is attacking us. Guinea, Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Africa will never attack us in the next 100 years. But you know what? We are paying the army, they are sitting there, and we are paying them every month. Yet they are not fighting to defend us. So, but we have one enemy. That enemy is hunger. When I become president, as commander-in-chief, I will order the army to plant 100 acres of rice farm in each of the 15 counties. That's 1,500 acres of rice farm. Added to the rice that our farmers will be producing, I can tell you, Liberia will soon become a rice exporter rather than a rice importer. And the price of rice will be way down.
Okay. And so, thank you so much, Honorable. My name is Enoch Dan, and with all you have explained, let's look at Nimba. There's a saying from other people that during the time when Honorable Prince Y. Johnson pronounced that he wanted to be president of the Republic of Liberia, people claim that he mentioned that Nimba is not yet ready for, taking the seat of presidency. And now you are coming. This Tennessee to hunt you. What could you say towards that?
The hunters are ignorant.
Why?
Completely ignorant.
Why?
Because I didn't make that statement. And in Nimba County, people should have respect for me as they have in other countries. I'm not just talking about other countries. I'm one of the African intellectuals. Read the Inquirer. Thabo Mbeki as president of South Africa quoted me three paragraphs of a speech I delivered in Atlanta, Georgia in 2003. Am I someone who is insignificant that a president will quote? I am respected. I'm on the African governing board of the African Bar. Am I someone who would make such a silly statement? How can I say as a human rights advocate and as a human rights advocate that some people right to participate in the governance should be barred? I've never made that statement. People should have respect. Look, I'm a law professor. Okay. I'm former president of Bar. I just told you I taught economics at the university and taught so many people. I'm one of the frequent speakers when it comes to commencement. At least I have some brains and I have some common sense. I would never make such a silly statement. But let me go further. I defy anyone to produce a recording. I have said that if anybody produces that recording, I will give the president $1,000 on the spot. I will also surrender my ambition. I will declare for running for the presidency. Now, how far can I go? This is the bet I'm putting up. I think that should cut it. The fact that I've said I will pay anybody $1,000 producing the clip, and I will surrender running, let them produce the clip. Because we're in another time, because somebody Nimba, I don't want to call that president on the radio. We went to another time, we call another prominent song, so nobody made this thing. Okay. It's a figment of somebody's imagination.
Okay, but you one person that people have often said supporting the war and economic crimes cause. That week, Senator Johnson has often thought, is actually hurting him. Now, you are from Nimba, Senator Johnson is from Nimba. How do you reconcile, your relationship with Senator Johnson, the people of Nimba, especially when they consider him to be political godfather for this country, when you are fighting for the war freedom?
First, I'm a lawyer.
Okay.
I'm a lawyer not just for Liberia. I want to I studied the same common law that I studied in America. I hold dear to my heart criminal law principle of accountability, that a man is presumed innocent until he's proven guilty. Everybody is accused. Look, the war crime is not from Nimba County. And I detest anyone who wants to present my county as a county of war criminals. Nimba is not a country of war criminals. Nobody should present that view. There are Nimbayans who did not fight in Maryland. There are Nimbayans who did not fight in Lofa. For example, in Lofa, Ulimud and Lurd are accused of killing people massively, and most of the killing fields in Lofa are credited to Ulimud and Lurd. I don't know whether there were Nimbayans in Ulimud or not. Maybe there were. But Nimba is not looking for that. I don't know any Nimbayans who fought in Cuba and other places. Nimba is not a place of war criminals. I'm a proud son of Nimba. Okay. I'll never say that. And let me tell you, Prince George and I have perfect relationship. Okay. In fact, recently I gave him a gift. I walked to his office. Prince George will never tell you that he and I have a problem. Somebody came to my office and said, "How are you, Senator Johnson?" I think that the Nimba called the president. I put the telephone on. I said, "Senator Johnson, how you doing?" He said, "Oh, my Senator boy. When I think you and I and
I said, call you?
Eh?
Is that he referred to you?
Senator boy.
Oh, Senator boy.
Prince Johnson and myself used to live behind Senator in Jimmy Bobley Yard. Okay. In 1985, when the Kuoba thing took place, he was involved, and all of us living in that yard protected him because he came and was living in the attic for like 3 months, and we protected him. No, but NSA were coming there every day. We risk our life because NSA are falling, they will kill all of us. So he said to me, "Oh, my Senator, and we then converse." He said, "We need to get together. You know, you judge that then Basil, Basil will say a judge, now here, associate justice." He said, "You can Basil, call me Cllr and myself, Senator, boss, we need to get together because we used to live back there and we used to meet and talk." I said, "Yes, but George Basil and George, so I'm a politician. I ever come there with him. They were living there and things. He's been listed for associate justice. I just recently. Yeah. So when I come out, I'll get call me Clement, and he and myself will come visit you one day, and we'll laugh about it." He said, "Oh yeah, I saw your business card when you left in the office. They gave it to me the other day." Then the president, you know, woman, Mr. Dan, as the Dan, the president of Bilinko, Nimba Kwado, started smiling. Another person came and raised the issue one day. I called him. We started a friendly conversation. And he said, "You know, a son of Nimba can't be running in. Anyway, we'll talk. We can stay on the phone." Okay. That shows that we have a good relation. Okay. Senator Johnson and myself have no problem. Okay. And you will never even say that he and I have personal problem. No. But I'm a lawyer. The Bar Association, our president of, made clear resolution that the World Economic Crime Code that was recommended by the TRC should be established. I think it's even good for the Nimbayans who are named there to appear and clear their name because that's just presumption. And they are presumed innocent. Do you know what's your name again? Freddie. If somebody accuses you of killing and you don't appear and they say, "Come appear in court," you don't appear when you die, your children will be called murderer children, murderer grandchildren. So it's in your interest for for the people who come, your descendants, for their good deed, so that you can be painted black. Because when you are painted that way, that's a problem. So I think that anybody who knew that would be happy. You know, Babu went to the War Crime Tribunal and was free. Pierre Bamba of DRC went to the ICC way in the Hague and got free. Somebody recently, they're trying in Liberia, they're trying in, I think, in Spain or one of the countries, and they got free. People have gone there and got it free. And it's in the interest so that people don't force their accused.
So, presidential hopeful, as you have explained, all those things, are you seeing yourself as a choice of the Liberian people?
Clearly, without doubt. Without doubt. And I'm saying that, look, Ask anyone who's running now. Nobody has made any sacrifice. Before I talk about sacrifices like me. I was standing up for Liberia at the age of 22, speaking truth to power. When President Talbot declared Liberia a holiday because President Carter was coming to Liberia for 1 hour visit, when he had spent 3 days in Nigeria, I was one of the student leaders who said, Mr. President, you are wrong. You cannot declare a holiday in Liberia and make our economy to go down for 1 hour visit when the man spent 3 days in Nigeria, and Nigeria did not declare a holiday even in one village. Also, nations treat each other on the basis of reciprocity. No president like Liberia had gone to America and they declared holiday in one village. You are wrong. We did that. And 6 of us were arrested and put in jail. Besides that, I went to jail. I was beating on a door from a connection to Dr. Sawyer, who said to him, since you want everybody to resign, you resign. Freedom of speech. He said, man, I saw your administration. They can beat me on the university campus in 1984 when I was a teaching assistant there. And then, on the table, for standing up for journalists, people like you, no Liberian lawyer can compare himself or herself to me when it comes to defending journalists in this country, civilly and criminally. I was for human rights advocates and poor people, and speaking truth to power. I was detained and tortured on the table that I had to go into exile. We're now for the American government. Every day I thank God for the American government because the State Department ordered Taylor to get me out of jail. I was out of jail, and the American government, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, United Nations Security Council, the EU, everybody said Taylor should not touch me again. And I was received, me and my family were taken to America by the American government and human rights organization, and I was given asylum for 3 years. I was a research scholar at Harvard for over a year, and then that's how I got to know a lot of people in the American government. The current usage director for the world is my friend, my officer next to my Samantha Powell. In fact, when I was Solicitor General for Special Assistant, he worked for me for 1 month in Liberia at the Ministry of Justice and helped to organize my office. And that's why I can go to America and go to the State Department, all of that. So I have stood up, and I'm still standing up for Liberians. There's no country in Liberia that have not represented a poor person. All right? And I've done workshop in most of the countries in Liberia. Look, why do I, this year, New Year, I spent it in Boston. They gave me 3 white sheep. They gave me 2 white roosters. They gowned me. In fact, I will wear that gown. I think I want to wear that gown today, in fact. Okay. I won't be seen Boston exclusive. I wore that. Then they gowned my wife. They gave me fish. And then I was named in 2000, I think 2009 or 2010. They named me WAMU because I'm Minister of Labor. The Ministry of Labor carried a project in Port Town, Grand Jury, and I went and dedicated. I slept in Port Town for 2 nights. And they said, you minister, you are a man of man from Nimba. You can get no soldier behind you, and you trusted us, and you slept in a little house without sitting tie and anything, and you slept there for 2 days when you could have slept at Mona Hotel in Zurich, that is just 30 minutes away. Because of that, you have reunited Nimba and Grand Jury. You have integrated us, you have reconciled us. So we name you Polino, which in crime means savior. The people in Rocktown, Maryland, name you last year Wamu, which means bless us. This year, the people in Pujahu, Cape Mount County, name me Tony, stay with us. So that's just an indication of how well connected I am all over the country. And more than that, my wife comes from Lofa, from 2 of the large tribes, a prominent family. She's a Kolako from the Lofa people. She is from, her mother is Bani, from the king of Bani family, and Yanamanahu, that's where her mother comes from. My sister, Tiawan Gongloe, is married to the Basa people. The white name come from River Says. My mother comes from Bonkale. I am on the Elders Council of Bonkale. I've been there for more than 10 years. as legal counsel of the Elders Council of Bon County, besides the fact that my mother came from Koita, Bon County, Remy and Zuwinta. And so that's why I went to Bon County, and they told me, our nephew, the presidency is yours. Because no president has come from Bon County before will support our nephew to be president.
So, Honorable, somebody will be asked this question. We all, like you have explained, if someone say it's just advertisement to make you, win this election to keep Liberian people frustrated, what will you say?
I would say they must look at my track record. They say when you want to plant, you promise that you can plant a new mat, you should show the old one. I have been in government. Let's come to corruption. I served in Mosoya for 4 years as executive assistant. And by the way, let me say, I am the only presidential candidate in the last 100 years who has worked in the office of the president before vying for the presidency. When you're a mechanic board, then you learn to be a mechanic. So I worked in president office for 4 years, so I've learned to be president. And a good president too, because he had PhD in political science, professor of political science. When we used to go to ECOWAS conferences, OAU, and all of that, now African Union, say Professor Sawyer. He's the only one that they used to call professor. I worked with him. Yeah. And then I didn't steal. You know when you work with the president, you just want to show you the president picture, and you are room, you can make more, I'll make the president sign a contract. You can get 100,000, you can get more. I didn't do that. I work as Solicitor General. I prosecuted Judy Bryan and others for corruption. I was not corrupt. Let me tell you, one day, one of my candidates training after I gave me the prosecution for he said, Chief, you have 100 for your cassette. I said, Kante, I think for one of the countries, I said, I don't want to call it Kante before it didn't get through. I said, if you do that next time, I'll have you arrested for attempted bribery. Oh, I'm the supervisor. You want to give me money, so when you do something wrong, I can't support. Don't try it.
But somebody will say that identical money you're talking about was small for bribery, because when you get into that seat, you see a lot of things that can attract you, and if you get there, your behavior will change. Because that seat, it changes behavior.
It is possible. But when I was age 32 or 33, I was executive assistant for Dr. Soy. And he told me, I'm sending you as a presidential envoy for 20 days to some countries in West Africa. I said, me, presidential envoy? He said, yes. He gave me a letter to deliver to President Conte, President Momo, Joseph Momo, and other people. And I accomplished it. I will give him $4,500 as per diem. I accomplished the mission in 10 days and returned to Liberia in my 30s. Now, 1992 was tough year in Liberia. War was on. Money really was rough. I came back. I went to the Minister of Finance. He's still living. Minister of Finance, Francis Capper. I said, Minister, I brought back $2,250 because I spent 10 days. He had the money. He said, but the better for you. I said, no. I was a critic on the university campus. I was in soup. We used to criticize government for corruption. It would be corruption if I take the money that I didn't work for. I spent 10 days. I can justify the 10 days money. I can't justify the other 10 days money. So I'm giving the money, giving the receipt. And he deposited the money next day in the National Bank and brought the deposits. If I did that in my 30s, I'm now 66 to 67. He said, I can't change who I am now. All right? So let me tell you what I was Solicitor General. There's a big Lebanese man in the country. I had him jailed by the police at the NPR for investigation. He took over, you want to give me $500,000. I told the Lebanese man who came, I said, you repeat that, I will have you jailed. I said, tell that man in jail that I don't have a price. Even for $10 million, I cannot sell Liberia. So I've been through that. I was smiling when you're talking. Or Minister of Labor, when I wanted to increase the employment of Liberians and found that there were Lebanese stillborn, Indian stillborn, Chinese stillborn, and all that, I increased the work permit fee from $400 to $1,000. They went to the president talking about the Madam President, this is in the Liberian interest. You can override me as president, but I will not change it. I did not change it. They went through people to try to bribe me. And they say, y'all don't know Cllr Gongloe. Y'all go to him without bribe. He will put you in jail and put your name in the newspaper and TV. So people know who I am. So when I'm president, because my reputation precedes me, A lot of people will not even come with property to the president because they're already doing the president.
That's good. So you know, we are struggling to open the line, but you know, that story about returning the balance money you brought from, you know, from the mission there. As an envoy, I was coming to ask you. You were in Blood yesterday, and Blood is where the integrity Akon corridor comes from in Maratuno, and I think that the Sawyer was one person who said yes. Somebody had done that before in Liberia, and Councillor Gongloe was one of those. So let's talk a bit about Emmanuel's work. How do you look at that? Returning what?
I'm so proud.
Okay.
As a Liberian, or as a man from this district, I'm so proud. Because our people didn't train us to steal. Our people taught us when you see something that does not belong to you, return it. And you know this Tappita area was largely influenced by May Baptists. And the May Baptists was strong on 10 Commandments and all of the virtues. You know, bring yourself down, God will lift you up. I learned that from Ray and Tappita. And I always do it literally. One time I went 2-3 years ago, I went to my sister Mercy Gongloe graduation, and I was sitting in the back on a Saturday, and I just heard the rector saying, we just got information that Councillor Gongloe is in the audience. We are sending usher for him down to come on the stage. I said, what Saturday? If I were me, my jeans and sneakers, I would be in trouble. Fortunately, I was dressed in a nice African attire that day. But I'm just saying that's the training of the Nimba group. How many times you heard that a Nimba man was dismissed as minister in Monero and disgraced for stealing? That's not a Nimba way. Is it Nimba people are high-headed? They are too political, and so because of that, a lot of people are afraid of Nimba people, right? So that young man just represented Nimba very well. But the judge here, who gave me all the accolades and recognized himself is corrupt, he's a rogue. So he exposed himself by recognizing that young man because he is unable to do what that young man did. Look, he left the country for more than 25 days. Some put it 7 weeks, some put it 25 days. And one of the purposes of his travel is to see his son playing a World Cup representing America. But Lord, the money you spend that day, for the time you spend the hotel bill, the airfare, the per diem, the whatever you spend, is money that belongs to the Liberian government that you will be using privately. That is theft of property. He needs to return the money for that particular day. The time you spend, if it's 1 or 2 days that you spend to watch his son, that money is not for government purpose. Is not for performing a public duty. It is for family duty. His role as a father. That money should come from his pocket. It should not come from the government pocket. That is theft.
If that be his salary advance to be used, why would he say?
And that's one of the reasons I say when I'm president, the salary of the president, the minister, everybody will be on the internet, in the newspaper, because we don't know his salary. Even when he said he reduced his salary by 25%, my question, what is this salary that you reduced by 25%?
All right, folks, 077 660 088 The councillor will need to go to get set for 100 for today. Coming up, and then you can be live, ask your questions because you can also ask the first question. Good morning. Reverend, welcome. Right, thank you so much, Robert Chapman. 077 088 by at least by 7:30, we should be out. Of the interview should be concluded. Someone is on the line again. Good morning.
Good morning, Fred.
Good morning.
Good morning. You get the answer.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to do this medicine for stuff here.
Okay.
But what I want to advise you clearly and very strongly is that as Kennedy rather than one or the other saying some negative thing about people who led this country, people of the world, yeah. It's well known, we know this, that, and we appreciate that. But let's forget about those who were there at the time, or they are whatsoever it is, and just people want to see them to us. We appreciate that.
Thank you for your advice. Well taken.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. 077 6602 we want the account. And the councillor is a student presidential hopeful Councillor Tiawan Gongloe is here. Good morning. Good morning, your name?
George, and I call from Tappita.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to appreciate Honorable Gongloe to you. But what I'm going to refrain from is, insulting leaders. Because if you will say George Weah is the rule, mind you, you're going to be a president tomorrow too if God gives you the opportunity to become a president. Now, and one thing I want him to refrain from also is, leading people, because you are saying that George Weah is on his way to Ghana to watch his son playing within 25 days now, whereas the George Weah song will not be played 25 days from now. So if he is moving from here for 25 days, remember that he will not be playing for 25 days. So he will not be playing for now because the World Cup in Qatar will start on the 20th of November. Now, 25 days from now, the US and the United States will not be playing. So how can you tell us that George Weah is going to watch his son for 25 days from now, and whereas his son will not be playing and that's like the time frame that he's mentioning. So if you want to be a leader, make sure that you mind your thoughts, because you're going to be there tomorrow if the other person leaves. So
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to Councillor Tiawan Gongloe. My name is Rufus Settley.
You're welcome.
I'm excited that the councillor is in Tappita today. I think it's like he has come back home, because Tappita has been his home for a very long time. And we feel excited to hear him on the radio, engaging with us competitive people today. I think it's about time that we, the people of Nimba County, can stand behind that man. Somebody of integrity, somebody of character, somebody of decency, to make him, the president of the Republic of Liberia. It's about time that Nimba County can produce a president. And I think if we are producing president, we should not just produce president, because we have the opportunity, but we should make relevance of our political. We should make our own political relevance as the people of Nimba County. And I think Honorable Gongloe stands in that gap. And I did not hear him, Honorable, I did not hear you talk about the education system. I'm pinpointing this because those days in Tappita or over this year in the rural communities, schools were all there and very vibrant. Teachers were all in the classrooms. But today in Nimba, I'm talking about Nimba and specifically Tappita, we don't have teachers. The government of the day is not in a position to employ teachers. As a result, our classrooms are all empty. The children in the women population has increased so much that they don't have the opportunity to go to school and make themselves better to start their wisdom so that they will become leaders for us to follow, so that they will become doctors, they will become teachers, they will become good citizens to follow. But none of them, because of the lack of education opportunity, are turning into slogans, and bad children around here. But I did not hear you talk much about education.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our knowledge, to our attention. Good morning. I'm okay. Your name? You're welcome. You're welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Your name? Yeah, Jackson. You're welcome.
For my father, that is, when he become a president for this nation, we need to be able to settle the salaries of the instructor who prepares teachers, ministers, and what have you. Because we have no salary for teachers, LD only. But to the other persons, they have USD, LD, double like that.
Okay.
We able to settle the balance for all in the country.
Okay, I think that what we first can know something about. We will get there. They probably taking notes. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah.
My name is Nathan. You're recording the grand year.
You're welcome.
Then I want to tell the speaker that Councilor Gongloe changed this morning for the message that he delivered this morning to the Nigerian people. I listened to him while audience because of the big ambition he has to be Nigeria. But one thing that I want to get clear, besides getting to that presidency, we follow the achievement he has had. Because these presidents, they can get it or they have. But I kind of be glad to help Nigeria. Only because he's president, he talks about agriculture. He talks about other things. He has been teachers for the past. They don't have that kind of plan to bring something to Nigeria to have employment rate of youth or citizens. Not to be president, to help Nigeria. That's what I want to know this morning.
Okay, thank you. My brother, even if you are to become president today, you will do more than your decision. So the aspirant will address some of the so that he doesn't forget.
Right.
Yes,
I'd like to start with the last one. My brother, actually, I've been a teacher. I work in government and all of that. Even now, I'm in the sitting government. Sometimes we draft laws for government. Sometimes we do workshops. Like for example, the regulation that is used for small arms was developed by me as a consultant to the Small Arms Commission. The current law that I think just passed on revenue sharing formula law was drafted by me, for the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Governance Commission. We can do a lot of things. Well, you can do greater things when you are at the helm of power. You are the president. You will be setting policies. Even when I was minister, everything I had to do, I had to seek the approval of the president. When I'm president now, some of the issues that were raised by the teachers, for example, to improve our educational system, to have enough teachers and then put them on salaries, good salaries that are regular, to make sure that there are textbooks in all schools for the students to read, to make sure that there are libraries, there are science laboratories, there are computer laboratories, all these things that are happening in other countries to improve our educational system. I mean, I said I had a lot on my plate, but I want to keep to the fore. I talk about children going to school without school fees being paid by the parents from kindergarten to 12th grade. And I talk about textbooks and other things. And we cannot move forward without improving our educational system. Currently, there are more children in every town in Liberia that are not in school than the normal children go to school because their parents are poor. They cannot afford all of the fees. These are some insane fee, the graduation fee for even kindergarten children. I don't understand that. When I took my national exam here in the 6th grade, my parents didn't pay fee. So when I hear even the president talking about, I'm paying YR fee, it shouldn't be. Government should handle all those things. It should not be imposed on parents. And some politician can say, I give good. No, that should be a policy of government to give easy access to all children of Liberia, because the education of Liberian children is an obligation of the government of Liberia under Article 6 of the Constitution of Liberia. Now, someone said, stop talking about leaders that they are rules. Look, our government, I will not walk away from that. Why? Because the advisor to President Biden came out as our 200th anniversary as a country. They come here as slaves, the free slaves, and said Liberia is too corrupt, Liberia will go nowhere if corruption continues. And the fish starts getting right from the head. The Congressman Chris Smith said Liberia is a kleptocracy. That big word means government of rogues, by rogues, and for rogues. So, and who is this government? This kleptocracy that the congressman sitting in the U.S. Congress talk about a President William. I cannot walk away from this. And to call him a rogue is not insulting because he is. If a president is a killer, they will say this man is a killer. Idi Amin was a killer. There's no other way like Uganda used to call Idi Amin. They said that he was a killer. He used the presidential power to kill people. Killing is a word. Being a rogue is a word.
Yeah, but sometimes it's because of prejudice, because you that in president. That's why people say that. Because as a leader, when you show up become president, you get referred to you as rogue.
I will expect, I will live a life and expect people to speak up, truth to power.
Okay.
I must conduct myself not as a rogue. If I'm a rogue, I'm telling my brother, call me a rogue. They can no longer is a rogue. You still speaking against other people. Yeah, you still I'm doing it in a way, exposing myself to that same attack. People should not be afraid to call a president a killer or a rogue or anything like that, or he's a liar. So people should not be afraid. So president, we have to say Liberia, Monrovia is in Miami. And many people in Monrovia, many Liberians, all over Liberia say, this is a lie. Monrovia is like Miami, Florida. No, this is the service that not being fed to Liberians. It's all on the Facebook. That was not an insult.
So because President, we have to play country money to pay Zogos, that's one of the factors of you taking to be a road.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say he took money to pay Zogo, therefore he's a road. I was clear. I said President Weah did not have the money he had before coming to power. Because even before coming to power, he was charged with a child support thing. And he was senator. He said he was not even making $2,000. He did not even have $2,000 in a bank account. He was not making that kind of money. Then he became president and he built 47-story buildings right opposite the Baptist Seminary. I've been there because I'm president of the Liberia Bar Association. He hosted a dinner there for my guests, the members of the African Bar that came from all other countries. That was my first time going there. And all the lawyers were taking pictures and said, oh, we here started talking to him, we didn't know that true. So I've been there and seen it. Unless he has a money machine in his house that he can print a money machine, or he's a magician, there's no other way for me to see it unless I say it to them.
Alright, so we'll be taking the last batches now. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, your name?
I'm James calling from Research.
Okay, the manager, you're welcome.
Okay, we welcome Gongloe to Tappita. I've been listening. One issue that some of us are concerned about throughout this election is about number. Nimba is a big country, but it's a big elephant that everybody can buy. Nobody can depend on Nimba alone. So we want to know who is teaming up with that will bring another number that can make him win, because this is our concern. It's not just because we are from Nimba and Cllr is from Nimba, but it's about Nimba pushing behind somebody who can make who can win the game.
Yeah.
That has been our concern all through. I listened to him when I was in Uganda, and they talk about companies coming to him, Waka, and what have you. And his answer was, if people have the same life like him, people of integrity, but in the case like you, where can we find such people to join him? Because that made me see that maybe we're fighting a losing battle is to go that direction. Where can we find such people now that will bring the number? This is our concern.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, President.
Good morning, your name? Okay, President, you're welcome.
Thank you for giving the opportunity. Let me firstly greet my father here, Mr. Gongloe. I want to say welcome to Tappita. I'm one of the sons of Yahweh National in Tappita. There are a few few concerns I want the honorable to address. You know, taking into consideration the Liberian economy as compared to other countries' economy. Now, to talk about free education. You know, I just want to know the strategies in which you're going to use to address this concern. If we talk about free education, we know that government is being run on the taxes collected. So how will we use this? Two, the issue that has to do with free medical extension, we have to do with free treatment. And what would be the plan on that? How is going to stretch down the Liberian economy to address the issue? Three, is there any plan or strategy on this platform that has to address the issue about the less privileged, our less privileged brothers and sisters, quote unquote, we call the Zogos?
That's it. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. Your name?
Thank you. This is Emmanuel. Joining this morning from Moreover is my first mission.
My Lucia.
Nimba Kwado, yes, Nimba Kwado, District 17, the son of Nimba Kwado from Larwehyi without issue.
Why are you following from Mother? I follow.
I'm okay.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm following the conversations from District 17 here.
Okay.
And let me adore the council of the field. You know, at times we tell it to our people in Nimba, more especially we are in Nimba, send them to the full of the debate. We are not able to produce a president in the country. And that is valid. So I know that since that this is before, we are not trying on the issue of producing president. I think the history relations jumping and to time on to 2017 elections. By this time, I want to get out my point to our appointed Tiawan Gongloe down in Congo, telling the divine that it is time we have to be mindful of our differences and time to see how best history can remember us in terms of presidencies in the country. It is really the history of the country Liberia. In our country, the second highest populated country in the country. We cannot produce president in the country. We are capable enough at time we allow our population to be used by, other trying to gain the population for us and become president. Look at small countries that are forming to produce president. Look at Granted. Look at the small countries that they can usually they can speak for Nimba more than 5 to 6 times they have to produce president. Because of what? They love and military who's practice to produce president, they are not that happy. When such a thing happens in the country, it will be more, for some of us, immediately looking in the country that's why that was very, but they have to be,
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think we're getting
yeah, because with time we get 7 minutes now, but let's take a call now, and then we can maybe conclude our segment while the council will answer your questions. Good morning. Good morning. Any? Okay, you get 1 minute, Mr. Max.
Yeah, okay. The way this CDC government is well rooted, we all know that we are concerned. We are concerned that we need a stronger person like Tiawan or Honorable. But is there any party or is he aligning with someone that at least we will be able to have the number as one of the previous brothers said, or look at preventing background that they want to allow for the able to perform the thinking in that direction so that we know where to stick. Or if you can make it before our hope be wasted.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Thank you so much. We appreciate your calls because we will have 1,000 callers calling in the year. So that, the oral address.
First, I want to express gratitude to the people of Tappita, really, because I heard they were waiting for me from 10 o'clock yesterday, and I arrived around 7 o'clock, and still saw hundreds of people, some go 1,000 in the streets. There's no greater love than that. I appreciate them for that. I even heard that some people, when facing the Monrovia side.
They think at 8 o'clock. That's
Thinking
walking.
that I was coming from.
Yeah.
Zulu.
Would mean walking down
So
the gate.
people went there. I want to really express thanks to them for showing that kind of love. Now, that undermine some of the things that people are saying. Let me come to this issue of one guy comes or any other party. In Nigeria, party coming together, I've done studies on the election. I found that in the 2017 election, about 12 political parties have come together. They didn't even get 7% of the votes. Some people got 500, some people got 600. So it not just coming together. And let me also tell people that the Liberian people are like any group of human beings. Their minds keep changing per minute. No vote, communist votes or Baga votes is not in the storage somewhere in the freezer that you need to unlock and just come out. Maybe there are more voters now waiting for them, or they have less. Some of the voters in some of those parties have gone to the ruling party because of jobs. All right? And some of them were, for example, Baga won in Lofa, hands down. But like it happened with George there, where Dillon beating twice through the two candidates in Montserrat, with very huge margin. Nobody expected that everybody would struggle in Lofa County, where Baga had the hand of the candidate and campaign. So it just shows that human beings can change, and it depends on the message that you have. I want this election to be on the message and the messenger. What you promise to do for the Liberian people and your track record. And that's why I put my own. I'm not hearing candidates. Of course, some people are beginning to copy me. I know I hear some people talk about agriculture, talking and people talk about anti-corruption. I say how I will fight corruption. People don't say it. I think that Liberia suffers so much. It's not about personality. Not about grouping. I'm challenging Liberians to, I think they are sensible enough to make a choice, even among 1 million people. Look, you talk about ruling party, unless you're not following, you go to West Point now. I have been there. I'm going there when I come from here, I'll go back to West Point. George, I can't even mean 5% of the votes in West Point, and the voters are changing. What's his name? Senator Penham. Joe Penham came from America recently, and I think he dealt a death blow in the heart of CDC. He said, I cannot see Southeastern Liberia voting for CDC in the coming election because we have mistreated them. He said the president from Southeastern Liberia, the speaker from there, the president pro tem from there, the deputy speaker from there, the minister of finance from there. And he said today, people can travel from Southeastern Liberia to Monrovia. He said 1 gallon of gasoline is 4,000 Liberian dollars. So if 1 gallon of gasoline is 4,000 Liberian in Southeastern Liberia, think about the fare for motorbikes. So they are suffering. And he is in the ruling party. And he is saying I was CDC. So I don't understand where the sympathy is coming from. On this issue of collaboration, I also want to say that I heard that from few people, in Monrovia, politicians and journalists and other people as a concern. I came on the grind in Bon County to find out what the people. Everywhere I went in Bon County, nobody talk about collaboration. People talk about how I want to lead Liberia. I would like you in China. Oh, pregnant woman not pay hospital bill, and our children go to school free. These are the things they talk about. All of the districts I visited in Bon County, I never heard anything about collaboration. In Nimba, I started in Ganta. From Ganta, I went to Lao Clan, to Nukuin, all the areas. I will start in Zamboi. By the way, while I'm on the air, I want to express sympathy to the people of Zamboi because they lost 8 of their family members. My condolences to the families. I went to Zamboi. I slept there. I went to Zambala. From there, I went to Yapima. I went to Sei. I went to Yamin. I they are resolved. All the errors. I have not heard one person. All I hear is that Nimba should produce a president too. Because I've said to people, if your father is building a house and you're not completed and death meets him, as a good son is when you rise up, you have the ability. It's good. But Jackson Joe, when the Nimba voted for Jackson Joe, and we believe he won, but the authorities say he didn't win. We are bad. We accept that. But that's the role he was on as a son of Nimba, who campaigned with Jackson Joe and campaigned along with DK's Mosali and Peter Kamen, who was still alive, and Moses Jopu. And I know that Jackson Joe was not a corrupt man. Because the one house he built in San Nicolas Principal is the same house as that. You were trying to complete a house in Nimba. I mean, Monterey didn't complete it before he died. He was not a man who, all the position he had, nobody accused Jackson Joe of corruption and were not visible. I am following that same track that my old man Jackson Joe followed and did not end. So I asked Nimba people to support me. And I think otherwise, because the ordinary people are not even having the concern that they are raising. Even the World Cup tribunal issue he raised, no ordinary person, any of the gathering that we had, raised it. Only journalists have raised it on the radio. So for me, I'm going to be president of the Liberian people, and I want to know what the people are feeling. Besides that, let me tell the Cllr that Nimba people have always given the greatest number of their votes to Nimbayans in first round. When Jackson Joe ran, Keseli, Bule could have joined him, but they competed against Jackson Joe. Still, Jackson Joe won in every county in Liberia. All right, he had the greatest number of votes. When the Koto ran, first round Koto got a large number of votes from Nimba. The 2 times that Honorable Johnson had run, he had gotten, he won 3rd place and 4th place because of Nimba votes. Even though we have differences with him, but when it comes to Nimba interest, everybody says when Nimba and other people have a Cllr in Monterey, you can have, in fact, you can have differences among themselves. But when they are competing, when they have a Cllr, other people they can unite. Yeah. So, in this election, it appears I'm going to be the only son of Nimba in the election. There will be no confusion here. Yeah. There will be no confusion in Bon County. There will be grandchildren, you have heard on radio, Gibson, Jeremy, and others from grandchildren are on Cllr radio every week saying if you Nimbayans are not voting for grandchildren, for Council of Gongloe, we are voting for it. You know that I represented 18 grandchildren. Actually 17, because one of them was from Berale, Sam Tali. I represented them free of charge in 2013. And all of them are attitude. They appreciate me so much in grandchildren for that singular action and all the actions I've taken. So I'm definitely winning the election.
Yeah, but just before we can conclude, 2 concerns, were raised by Presley Gongloe, from your Yahweh. He's saying that you are saying free medication for pregnant.
Yeah, let me talk about that.
Okay, so how?
Let me tell you. Look, there's money in this country. Okay. The things I'm saying, and I do. When I went to school in Tappita, like I said, I didn't pay my fee. I didn't pay any fee to go to government public school here. And I was giving all my textbooks with the Cllr teacher. I had a set of books, spelling book, English book, math book, reading. Today, some of you do well, or some people say Liberian, a lot of Liberian educated people don't speak well. Why you blame the victim? When I went to school, teacher Foshe, my Pisco teacher would say, read paragraph 1. I read it. And when I pronounce the word wrong, he said, no, this is the pronunciation. Then I pronounce it correctly. But a student who went to school, all through elementary, junior high school, college, and not seeing one textbook, why are you, laughing or shouting at the victim? It is a system that produces the kind of people. So when I become president, I'm going to. So it's easier to honor President Tolman. People, children under 5, were not paying hospital fees. These things happened before, and when we start corruption, there will be so much money. There's big salaries that the president and other people are making, managing directors will be brought down. We'll save a lot of money, and we'll take care of the social services. We pay teachers well, we pay police officers well, we pay civil servants well, we pay nurses well. These are the people who are doing the work. That is big shots, and we will have enough money
So you were talking about reading. Is that why, I don't know, because you are on record for referring to some journalism Liberia that even that is
don't take me back to Egypt. I apologize for you, very careful. I was excited for the young child in Ghana speaking so well as an April student that I was excited. And I should have said some journalists I misspoke and I apologize. I want to be you and apologize. I apologize many times on the radio. And you know it's not easy to apologize. I did that. So don't take me back to Egypt.
So finally, let's go to Glaze of the is that really room or library in memory of your father?
Well, you don't want to bring something up and say, because we're going in, marking down the ground, not trying to.
I know that.
But
I've been there.
I built a library auditorium. I call it the Larwehyi Gongloe Resource Center. My father was one of my first teachers. He was a good teacher. He taught for more than 40 years. He died. I told my siblings, let's do something in his honor. It's not private. We built it on the government school campus, so it's a private-public partnership. And the children I sent to school, I sent one of the Gongloes of the area. He learned. Another one went to LOIC. He's with Neon District, Bembo Gongloe. They are the ones that built that place. They took it from the internet and built it. You cannot see that star anywhere in Liberia. And we used 50 bundles of zinc. Then I put my father's statue right by it with the chalk in his hand. Most people from Boston can go there to take picture when they I don't wear it.
But are they still making use? People make use of it.
Everybody is making use. The Nimba and the education system, I teach a workshop, auditorium there. You can take up to 500 people.
Thank you so much for doing it.
So I've done
for that. Let's somebody wants to know.
Let me say that people don't vote for people because of structure you put on the ground. Otherwise, Dr. Weatu would have been senator. The hospital is then built in that area of Buya. I seen a hospital. The man ran for senator and Nimba didn't vote for him. He ran for representing an area that didn't vote for him. So they don't vote for people based on the structure you put on the ground. The voting for people is based on your message and your ability. And I have both.
I love that. Thank you so much, Gongloe, for passing by this morning. We Team Gongloe partners, because we received a gesture from the team. We want to say openly, thank you so much for the team.
You're welcome. Call me anytime, even a distance from here. I will call.
But you were in the Cincy as well. Because we are starting February last year.
Yeah.
It was a Cincy.
Okay. So I'm taking a seat gradually.
So where do we go next?
That's just a joke. I'm here. I'm thinking about being in your room, to be followed by Yahoo and Snow, and then Bay, and then the Snow. Then once I'm done with the Snow and Blanc, I'm on my way to Kokoda.
Okay, that's good.
Cover all areas.
Usually, I love last words. Somebody is interested in just giving a short contribution. Let us see if we can. And then he also an aspiring for the representative. Good morning, Dr. Eba. Good morning, you're welcome. Just shortly.
Thank you, and good morning to the people of Nimba, and good morning to the first minister aspiring that I've come to talk to all in this way, number 6 and 9. We appreciate the open this morning. I also talk to the people of Nimba to see the reason. It's our son coming from Brisbane. And once we decide to go ahead and supporting our county, it is only in this country, Liberia, we see minority to women majority. We might have a very good population, and I feel that if we put our population to use, our county will be a very great county. So we want to appreciate the people of Nimba, we want to tell them whatever situation that we have in the past, whether positive, whether negative, and we have to be for and see. Once we have a very good son coming from Nimba, whether pure man, whether minor man, we got to embrace the sentimental for this county and see how best we can govern our forces around one permanent source coming from Nimba so that we can be able to get a sovereignty into Nimba County. I think our Tiawan should be somebody who will be replacing Justin Gato in our county Nimba. I want to thank you all for traveling to Nimba. Don't forget people of Nimba. Don't be tired. Go to them. Find reconciliation. Whosoever that will tell you this is what you did to me in the past, I want you to drive to that person and say sorry to that person, and let's see how we must work with you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let me say to all Nimbayans who intentionally or unintentionally have heard before that I apologize.
Okay.
Whether I've said statements of them, whatever I've done. As a lawyer, I may have taken cases against them, that my work, if they felt offended by that, I just say, let's put all that behind, let's reconcile, let's move forward. I say, I apologize to everyone that may have heard. And on that note, I want to thank you for hosting me. And I once again want to thank the people of Nimba. Everywhere I went in Nimba, people were just excited about me.
Okay.
Not because, just because I'm a son of Nimba, but because of also the things I'm telling them, I knew. And they have never seen presidential candidate come to their villages. So I'm telling all of the Nimba, the Madingo, the Mano, the Kio, both from we and from Doro. We and Doro are two different places. And both from Peaple, I just came from Peaple. The people from all of the other areas, the Bella people, the Bella clan that we have right after Queen,
Okay.
all of them, and the new Nimbayans, the Nigerian, the Sierra the Ghanaians who are now taking citizenship and are settled in Nimba, I tell every one of them, thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Gongloe. He's a presidential hope for 2023. He's been in studio.